everyone, and welcome to today's session where we're welcoming our associate coaches to the community. I'm so proud to present to you our associate coaches. Only one at the moment because the other one hasn't arrived as yet. So this is Lobi Otto. Lobi, if you want to introduce yourself to the community.
My name is Lobi Otto. I live in Johannesburg, South Africa, in the sunny South Africa. I love sales. It gives me like the biggest kick in life to sell. And I love turning everybody that's like shying away from sales into confident people, closing every sale with a smile.
That's so great. I think I need some of Lobi in my life all the time, which is why I've invited her to be a part of the membership. So just a little backstory. Okay, so last year Lobi and I met in a group where we were learning how to build our businesses from a digital standpoint. So really to get online, to work with services, to help people to transform their own lives. So we work together very closely in a community. It was basically 10 of us, but only 6 of us really stuck together. And we've been supporting each other even after that course finished. We've been supporting each other since then. We kept our community and we still collaborate. We still do a lot of things for each other and with each other. So it's been really wonderful as an experience as well. And also to see the growth. So I've really been able to watch Lobi grow into the sales professional that she is. And she's an accountant like me. So I started life as an accountant, and Lobi also is still an accountant. So tell us a little bit about that, Lobi.
Yeah, so I am currently still into a 9 to 5 job, working out my prison break. But yeah, my history was I was a business consultant working for myself for about 16 years for fraud, online fraud transactions. We lost a lot of money, so I went back broken and bruised, like I say, into a full-time job, just to realize that's not really for me. After all those years, being my own boss was really hard, but I've paid all my bills and I'm ready to leave now again. I've got, in all the years, I've always had like side hustles, selling. I love it. I just love selling anything. But yeah, that is my background.
Yeah, perfect.
And I've started this year, moving on from online to offline. I've started to coach people because of the businesses that I do. People keep asking me, how do I get it right? I'll sell ice to an Eskimo. And how do I get that right? So from that, I've started to coach people one-on-one, and that's why I want to take it online.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to welcome as well Catherine. So Lobi, give me a second and I will just let Catherine in.
Okay. Cool.
Welcome, Catherine. So this is going to be really easy for everyone because we're just Catherine or Catherine.
Catherine.
Lobi is the standout here. So Catherine, why don't you introduce yourself to everyone so that they know who you are and your background as well?
Thank you. So I'm an e-commerce management and mentor. I've been running my own business now since 2015. As a retailer, I've been working for 18 years, both online and in the high street, but I love e-commerce, absolutely love it. So I started managing other people's websites for them. And now I'm helping people who want to do it themselves, but maybe need a little bit of support, a little bit of learning in that field. And it's such a vast thing because it can be from coding and building websites to helping people pick stock. It's so varied, and that's what I absolutely love about it. So
it's really interesting. It's really interesting because what I've noticed, like working with the ladies in the membership as well, like it's a real struggle to decide like where to focus your attention. So in a way, like you guys come at it from 2 different sides, right? So it's like Lobi, you come at it from, okay, get out there. You have your thing, whatever it is, product or service. Get out there, start talking to people, start engaging. And then Catherine, you come at it from, okay, let's optimize the website, let's optimize the SEO, let's try to get it in front of people. Is there something that makes you say one way is better or not? Like, what are your thoughts? Like, Catherine, what's your perspective on selling versus having your shop set up?
Well, you need what Lobi does. You need to be able to do the selling. because what you can't ever do is hide behind your brand and hide behind your business. And what a lot of people don't realize is, even if you are in a huge brand, like take John Lewis, there isn't an actual one person who is selling to you, but they have a brand voice, and you need to be able to sell in that voice. So you are always doing it, you're just doing it in a slightly different way. So it is always about the sales at the end of the day. And even if it's tech and coding, you have to know the brand. You have to know everything about how that's all going to work, because it all comes together to that one picture in the end.
Yes.
It's a very weird thing to say, but a brand almost goes through you like a stick of rock. You know, if you think of it that way, or the rings of a tree, when you cut through right down to the middle, every little circle makes that one bigger picture. And that's what we're doing in business. We're selling, and that's what branding is. That's what your website is. That's how you talk to people.
Yeah.
Everything you put out there is about sales at the end of the day.
No, you're so right. You're so right.
Yes. Yeah, and on that, I always believe you almost have like 2 sales cycles. So if you have a new product or thing, you take it as quick as you can to market, see what people say about it, see if your pricing is right, do the whole testing. Once that's done, you take it to a Catherine, like the bottom Catherine, and to put that in a system, so that there is a website that does the sales for you. If it's a product-based thing, that it goes through a whole, you get the procurement process, the sales process, the delivery process, you get all your systems automated to make life easy for you. So I think it's really, like you're saying, it's hand in hand, both go together.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Totally agree. And one of the things that I kind of realized in going through this journey for myself first as well, and also working with the other entrepreneurs, is that you tend to feel as if people are doing you a favor by buying your product, which is such a mistake, right? Because you have created this thing because you really believe it will help people, right? And it's the same for me, right? So it's like I have this membership. I really believe it will help people. But people are so cautious that I think I need to drop the price, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. But in reality, it's like, no, it's like, this is just here to help people. And I think it's really important for you to just get centered and understand who your customer is, to make sure that you're helping them, right? And you can do that in both ways.
Yes.
And it comes down to confidence as well, because like you say, when you feel like, well, I should drop the price to try and help people more, that makes people almost a little bit wary sometimes. You have to show that outer confidence even when you don't feel it in sales. You have to, put the face on or do whatever you need to do to be able to promote with confidence, and that instills it in other people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a tough road. And I mean, we say this easily, I say, quote unquote, because we've kind of gone through a process for ourselves, right? So we've gone through the mindset work, we've gone through the training in all of this stuff. But it takes a while for people to bring themselves to this place, right? What do you recommend as the first thing to do, Lobi, to kind of get yourself in the right frame of mind?
I think for me, whenever I do sales, it sounds so stupid, but the first thing is create energy inside yourself, okay? That it's so simple, but nobody wants to buy. Even if you have to write your copy or your script, get the energy, like pump yourself up, thinking like, I am not selling. I am blessing people. I'm bringing them something that's either going to help their pain points in their life, or that's going to give them comfort or a lifestyle, something that they are like desiring. You're either doing a problem or a desiring. Yeah, one of the two. So you have to put that in your mind and make sure you know that that's what you're going to do. And the funny thing is, they're already looking for a solution. Whether you're going to sell or not, they've got a problem or they've got a desire. They're already out there looking for it. So make sure you get in front of them, because you know your products are authentic or your services are authentic, and it's really going to help them over the line. So that thing is for me really, I believe, it sounds stupid, but I sit and think, if I have to sell something, like I'll think of a person that is really sitting somewhere in the world battling, really, really struggling, and I'm envisioning how I'm going to get in front of them. It's going to be like my friend, and I'm going to say, I'm here to help you, and this is how I can help you. And all they're going to do is they're going to exchange money for what I give them. I'm not taking money from them. We always have this thing. We must stop with that. You're not taking, you are giving. They're going to go somewhere for it. They might as well go for you that are authentic. So that would be the whole thing that I think even before you start to sell, think that through. And and the one thing that I always tell myself is statistics say it's 7 no's and then a yes. So every time you get a no, don't take it personal. It's just one of those people that said no. There's going to be 7 of them, and then I'm getting a yes. And just get it with them. It's got nothing to do with you or your brand or you. I mean, if 5,000 people say no, then obviously you need to go and look like there might be something wrong with your branding or your pricing, whatever. But in general, it is what it is. You have to know you're going to get rejection, and it's just what it is.
So okay. So here's a tough question for you, Lovie.
Okay.
So what if you have 2,000 followers someplace, 4,000 followers another place, another 1,000 somewhere else, and nobody buys your product? How do you process that?
I'll promise you, I will. I don't like online. I can't pick up the phone, but I will start to work through the people. I'll go into my if it's like Facebook groups that you're talking about, I'll go into those groups. I'll go and start to check. I'll check on my visitors thing, my membership, who is the most responsive person, and I'll actually leave them a message to say, all I want to do is I want to have a chat with you. I promise you I'm not going to sell anything to you. And I'll start to listen. What are they saying? Why are they not buying? And I'll actually put it out like that. I'll make a quiz. And I'll say to people, I have launched this and I've had absolute no response. And I'll really appreciate your honest answers and see what they say. I think sometimes we're also almost scared to ask the right questions.
Yes.
And I know that's for me. I'm scared I'll lose face in my community, in my Facebook group, because then they'll think I'm a loser or I don't know what I'm doing, those kind of things. But again, the thing is, they're not buying from me, so I might as well go in there and say, God, what's the problem? Why aren't you? That's would be for me, really. I'll literally take out a whole day and start working through my groups and say, why are you not buying from me? Because it's weird. I've got all these great offerings.
Yeah.
And I bet you 9 out of the 10 times it'll be in the copy. They don't understand what they're getting. And they don't see the value.
Yeah.
And it's selling the sizzle and not the sausage story. It's like, that is a tricky one. I think there's a lot of refining to do in, you put out an offer and people don't buy, refine it. Try it again. Try it again. The other day I was listening to a Udemy course creator person, and she said, just go and do your first course and record it. Because most likely it's going to be like totally flop. Totally. Because it takes about 10 courses to get there for people to buy. And I think we're too hard on ourselves. I think we should fail quicker, that whole thing. Fail quick and fail forward. Just get up and move on again.
Yes, absolutely. Now, great advice. And Catherine, I just want to ask from a different perspective now, because what I want to do next week is talk about the process and talk about the mindset. So we're going to walk with them hand in hand throughout the week. From a process perspective, I have a very specific question for you. So when we're getting started on our shops, we have an actual product we want to sell. Do you recommend having a website, the Etsy page, both of them? What is your recommendation?
It really depends on the person.
Okay.
So what you don't ever want to do is overwhelm yourself thinking you have to do it all, or you have to sell in this place, or you have to sell in that place. Part of it is thinking, where would my customer most likely be? But the other part is also, what am I going to most enjoy doing, and what's going to take me the least amount of time to learn and be effective with? And if you're already doing one thing, how can you grow on what you're already doing without having to start all over again? So a lot of people, they're already on Facebook, for example, they're already marketing there. It's a free platform where you can have a shop and you can just start going somewhere that you're already on. So quite often that's the first step for people before they, so they can sell before they decide, do I want Etsy or do I want a website? It's just about what can you do the quickest? What can I implement that's going to start taking me forward to making money? And
that's interesting, because
I hadn't it in that way.
Yeah, I hadn't realized that actually you can just start with a Facebook shop.
Yep. And it's so many people don't. I mean, I've had huge retailers who are taking thousands and thousands a week who go, I can connect my Facebook marketing to a sales platform. Yes, and it's free. Just, people don't realize that those things are there for them. They do more now because it's been marketed itself by Facebook in the last year. But yeah, and it really does depend on the person. Some people want the image, they want the website immediately, and they want to present themselves in that way as their brand, and that fits their company, and they've got the time or the money to do that. That's great for them. But I very much say don't get into debt when you're starting a business. Yes. So I'll look at that as a whole, and how can you start up and start selling quickly in the most effective way. And it, just like Luby said, it's so true. You have to fail forward. You have to learn as you're going, and it's about testing things as well. So you might not start and decide that that's the right thing, but you've tried it, and then that lets you know what you don't want to do next, which is just as important. So, it's just about seeing what is actually there and being aware of what's out there and making the right decisions from there.
That's really good advice. Thoughts on that, Luby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree 100% with you. And even I believe sometimes people, they almost have an imposter syndrome around websites. They will hide around everything. Oh, I can't go. And this week, somebody in my group selling jewelry for Mother's Day with a cell phone number. I'm like, I actually privately messaged the girl and said to her, do you not have any other online presence? And she's like, no, they're still busy working on her website, and it's been now 2 months. And I think, crazy, you're losing money. And like you were saying, into an Etsy store, I also didn't even know. I've seen Facebook advertising the Facebook stores, but I've never sat and worked through it. Yeah. But she could probably do it in there. So I agree with you. It's like
lots of different ways. But then
and get to make money, and then you can go and decide what you want to do and how you want to position.
I've been on both sides though, but I actually had no social media, no online presence at all for nearly 2 years. And that was a personal choice. And I ran a very successful business that took me all around the globe without having an online presence. So I know how freeing it can be not doing it.
Yes.
But I also know when things go wrong, like the pandemic, how important it actually is to have something to fall back on. So, I can run e-commerce businesses without having a presence myself as a service-based business, but you need to make sure that you've got the things that will stand you forward in the future. So I can see where that lady would think, I can get on right now with my my website's being built or whatever, but there are free options. You can even sell on email. And email is a fantastic way for a service or a product-based business. You're getting people's contact details, you're creating your audience, and you can do that for free while you're waiting for your website to be built. So there's so many options out there for us now.
I think the other thing that's probably useful to talk about, and you guys have touched on it, is really the business model that you have, right? And I guess one of the things that we want to recommend to people as well is to kind of vary that business model, have diversity in that business model, especially as sustainable entrepreneurs. It's like I know that a lot of sustainable entrepreneurs, they want to do good. So that's the first principle. It's like do good for the planet, which could mean things like we can give back, we can do something with the sort of waste end of the product, right? So making sure that we have a way for people to return the products or whatever it is, but also just having variety in the way that you support people. So it could be something around how you add your product mix, which is you have built some kind of knowledge or skill in developing that product, which you can also either give for free to help with your promotion, or you can also do it as a service to help balance things out. So I think that's also a way for people to think about it, right?
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. I think, like you said, and as many fingers in as many pies, platform-wise, without feeling overwhelmed. And I think that's where bottom Catherine is right in saying, like, you can choose online or offline, and then how you're going to work from it. But the pandemic has taught us that we have to get some online as well. But it needs to be something you're comfortable with, because it doesn't help you overwhelming yourself.
Yeah.
It's just
Perfect. All right, ladies. So thank you very much for joining me tonight. I'm going to wrap it up now because I don't want to overwhelm people with more information. But I think it was really useful. Yes, exactly. I think it was really useful to have this chat ahead of the sales challenge. So just to keep everyone aware of what's happening next week. So I'll just give you a brief of what's going to happen. So starting on Monday, we start with a small task. You will get a template and you'll have a task. You can complete that task anytime during the day. At lunchtime UK time, so I don't know where that's going to be for wherever you are in the world, but that's going to be 12 noon GMT +1. We will have a virtual co-working. So if you have any questions at all, you can pop into the virtual co-working. You can ask us, or you can just work alongside us on building out this workbook. So if that's something that you like, you can do that with us. Lobi will come on in the afternoon. I'm not sure when. She's going to tell me, and I'm going to post the timing, and talk about mindset work. And this will help us to get into the right frame of mind for what will come for the rest of the week. And basically each day will go incrementally like this. We will have a task in the morning, a co-working session, and a bit of Lobi. and when we get to week 2, we're going to start inviting Catherine in to do a bit more on the technical side of the process. So I hope that meets your expectations. It's something that I've put together from doing my own sales bootcamp training with another coach. Lobi was in that training as well. And I thought it was so useful. I wanted to bring it to the community. So I'm keen to share that with you all. I think it's going to be beneficial to everyone. And everyone's going to learn something. And very hopefully, everyone's going to sell something. So this is part of the expectation for next week. So thank you, ladies, for joining me. Thank you for accepting the invitation to be associate coaches. I'm really honored that you chose to work with us, with our community of sustainable entrepreneurs. I think that this is a great way to give back and to keep a system of really sharing and giving. And thank you so much for doing that. So cheers.
Thank you. We're looking forward to this. It's going to be awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies.
Thanks.